Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus, hot on the unofficial trail of SH Figuarts' Akiba Blue. She's the first female Sentai release in SH Figuarts, even if she isn't 100% legit yet, so let's see how she turned out. Like Akiba Red, Akiba Blue's got a very accurate sculpt going on. The colors are good too, though mine's got some scratching on the stomach and neck. Her proportions are a lot closer than SHF Akiba Red, though her arms come off a little bit thin, especially in the biceps. Akiba Blue comes clocking in with 6 pairs of hand options. She's got the basics covered in her fists and calm open hands. There are also gripping hands, which let her hold her weapon accessory, a Z-Cune that's identical to Akiba Red's. Her last 3 pairs of hands are great for backing up her martial arts expertise. There are dramatically splayed hands, which work well for top-tier spinning bird kicks that will totally win Evo. Chopping hands, which are great for, well, chops, as well as other poses. Her final pair of hands are, for a lack of a better term, martial artsy. I dig the variety, and don't feel like anything's missing. Akiba Blue actually outdoes Red as far as her scarf options. There's one hanging limp, one billowing hardcore, and one billowing less hardcore. As with Akiba Red, they mount on a sturdy little ball joint, though Blue's is on the other side of her neck. Oh man, I'm totally not gonna just have her mime through that entire Akiba Blue thing where she all does the splits and whatnot. Anyway, Akiba Blue is not quite as sublime in terms of posability as Akiba Red. In the head and neck, she does have all of that lovely range and triple internal ball swivel jointed posability. Her ab crunch and stomach joint totally still work in tandem enough to make a difference. Her scarf works. The big change here is the bicep swivel, and it's kind of a bummer. After Akiba Red had that great mid-bicep swivel masked by the black sculpting and detailing of his arm, Akiba Blue goes back to the SPD, Deca Ranger, and Shinkenger style of having the bicep swivel be right up inside the shoulder joint. It's not horrible or anything. It's not like it's preventing her from doing critical poses, but it does make it that much harder to get her arms in front of her body, and I really don't see why they didn't do a mid-bicep swivel. It's kind of silly. Other than that, her elbow joints are fine, wrist joints are fine, and the elbow joint being fine is great, because this is a very thin arm, so it's cool that that actually works nicely. Down here, her hip joints are totally unobtrusive. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted because this thing's totally, like, flexible and stuff, and that's really cool because it gets out of the way when she's totally kicking real high. And it also means she can do the splits, so that's pretty cool. Now, this would be troublesome to a very small degree. Her inner knee joint here, the hinge, it's black, everything else is blue, so when you bend her leg, it's really obvious that there's black underneath, and you can see the black right here. The cool thing is, this was actually designed into the live-action suit, at least as far as I recall. I just watched the stage show a couple of days ago, and I know I saw this specifically, so that's kind of neat. Down here, she's got the same range of ankle posability, and, yo, guess what? It's a toe joint. Her only problem down here is that her feet are so small, it's actually kind of hard to keep her standing, so thank goodness for Tamashii stages is all I can say. Anyway, it was really key, I think, that Akiba Blue have a lot of posability because she does a whole lot of high-end karate kung fu in the show, and I don't think that anything's really felt undoable in terms of what she's able to pull off, so this is a pretty good level of posability. And for such a thin-limbed body in Figuarts, I really like how solid everything feels. So, ride or kick? I mean, unofficial Rider Sentai. Huh! While the first member of the team showed great promise, he was also the only dude. There are 2 girls in the Akiba Ranger trio, and Blue was the one to set minds at ease about how this set of Figuarts would turn out on the whole. And she did! She's nearly as solid as Akiba Red, mostly taking minor hits for her Shinkenger biceps and the small footprints of her standing base. Akiba Blue's also cool in that she's a solid female tokusatsu SH Figuarts release that isn't gated behind a web-exclusive wall, or that Hana figure. Anyway, this has been internet personality Vangelus, and I can't even think of a clever way to hint at the blitzkriegingly obvious fact that I'm probably going to have a review of Akiba Yellow coming out in the near future. Let's just call this one a gimme.